Good grades can help you get a job out of school. To get good grades, you typically have to do well on exams. And to do well on exams, you generally have to thoroughly understand the course content that is taught in class. Okay, I can't hold it. No, you don't. You just have to memorize what the teachers tell you, write it on the exam, and then anything that was in your head for the exam, well, after the exam's done, if you find other reasons to lose it, well, then so be it. In 2 of my previous videos, I've provided general memorization tips, as well as memorization tips specifically for visual learners. And in this video, I'll be providing memorization tips for auditory learners. Hey guys, I'm Mike. I'm an organizational behavior professor at the Ted Rogers School of Management. In weekly videos, I leverage my student and professor experiences to share new insights to help you better manage your university life. I generally don't talk about topics learned in the classroom, but learn the hard way throughout university. So if you are in uni or will be soon, hit subscribe, smash the like, make sure the notification tab is on, and check out my weekly clips. In this video, I'll be providing memorization tips for auditory learners. Auditory learners, what the heck are they? Can you generally name the place that you first heard a song? Have you ever written a song? Do you generally find yourself always listening to music while studying, cleaning, eating, and are you more concerned with the name of the song is in the background right here, rather than listening to the words I'm saying? Well, if you answered yes to any one of those questions, you are likely an auditory learner. By definition, auditory learners like to receive new information via auditory stimuli, meaning they like to receive new information from listening to it before they perform a new task. Now, there are a bunch of exams and tests that one can take in order to determine whether you're actually an auditory listener, but frankly, you likely already know whether you are or not, and if you are, you're likely going to want to listen in, see what I did there, to the following memorization tips. Okay, my first tip for auditory learners is to attend lectures. Now, I'm pretty sure I have to say this as a professor, but I truly do believe it. Most lectures involve professors talking about course content. Well, isn't that what all lectures are about? Isn't that what a lecture is? Professor talking about course content? So obviously that's in lectures, they're helpful because the auditory cues brought up during class will reinforce what you've learned during the class and help you memorize the content better. However, this tip is heavily professor dependent. Professors that are clear and charismatic make it easier for you to memorize course content and then bring it up during the exam, or at least more so than those other professors who are less memorable, and that's all I can say about them. Okay, here's an easy one. Saying out loud what you read can actually help you remember that information. And there's actually research to support this. It's called the production effect, and it works in 2 ways. First, saying words out loud makes them more distinctive over words that are uttered more silently. And that distinctiveness aids in the encoding process in memorizing those words. So anytime you want to remember something that's really important, make sure you shout them out loud. And second, reading and saying things out loud will force you to slow down, which should lead to more of that content getting into your head. Songs or jingles can be effective tools to help you remember things, as it uses your brain's right hemisphere to remember tricky concepts such as equations, facts, definitions. That's actually one of the main reasons why different marketers and organizations have actually used jingles, clever lyrics in their commercials to help you remember their products. I know you're probably thinking, Mike, I'm not really good at making songs. How on earth am I going to make a song about something I'm trying to remember? I can't even remember that topic. How am I going to remember a song? But don't worry, there's actually tons of songs already available online related to difficult concepts. So just go on Google, search the concept plus song, and you're likely to already find people playing songs or lyrics associated with that song online. Now, I would give you an example, but you don't want to hear me sing. Like you really don't want to hear me sing. But if I were to sing, it would be a rhyming song. Memorizing is so much fun, but if you have a voice like me, singing should never be done. So another great tip is to study with friends. So study with friends, study in a study group. But remember here, the important thing for auditory learners is don't just come in a study group and then read silently, independently. No, you need to talk with the friends. You need to talk with them about what you're trying to learn. So you read a concept, understand it, talk about it, share it with your friends. They read a concept, understand it, and then share it with you. You listening to them talking about it will again reinforce and make more distinctive key concepts that you're trying to remember, helping you encode that information into your brain. So next tip is to figure out what type of noise level you are comfortable studying in. Some people love loud noise and some people like to study in a very quiet So you gotta figure out what works best for you. If you like loud noise, a lot of people will study in areas that are like coffee shops or cafeterias where there's noise constantly going on in the background, not too loud, but they treat that background noise like a white noise that kind of blurs out everything else so they can focus and zero in on exactly what they want to study. Other people actually like having no noise at all and find any noise can be distracting, so they try to zero in either studying in a library where nobody's allowed to talk or in their bedroom. So you'll have to figure out what type of noise level you are comfortable with and then you adapt and use that location. If you have never used a recorded lecture to help you study, then you are missing out. It's kind of like watching a good movie. Well, I guess it doesn't even have to be a good movie. It's like the same thing as watching a movie over and over. You just naturally memorize the words and can repeat them and say them at the same time as all the actors, right? Is that weird or is that just something I do? Just one word of caution. Some students view recorded lectures as a way of not going to class or getting a good grade on a class, even though they don't end up not getting a good grade. Having a recording of a lecture is not the same as listening to and understanding what is said during the recording of the lecture. Okay? So when you watch it, please note that you still have to pay attention to what is said so that all that content goes in your head. All right, my last memorization technique and my secret weapon when memorizing for speeches is to record your own voice and listen to it over and over and over. So whenever I try to memorize a speech, I always say the speech into my iPhone. I record my own speech and then I listen to it over and over for like 2 days. I'm just passively listening to it while I'm walking to school, getting groceries, exercising all the time. And after the 100th time that I listen to it, I generally have all the words memorized without even really trying. Try it, it works. Piece of cake. All right, guys, that's it. Those are my memorization tips for auditory learners. If you found this video helpful and want to hear more tips on how to make your student life more manageable, hit subscribe, smash the like, make sure the notification tab is on, and check out my weekly videos. My next week video is going to be memorization techniques for the kinesthetic learner.